Have you ever heard about Nauru, the smallest island country in the world that is also the least visited and the most obese nation? Welcome to a journey of discovery where we'll explore the enigmatic world of Nauru, a land that stands as a paradox in the vast blue Pacific Ocean. This tiny island, nestled between Australia and Hawaii, is a tapestry of intriguing narratives. It's the smallest independent republic on Earth, yet it holds two world records, one for being the least visited country and another for having the highest obesity rates globally. From its phosphate-rich soils to its stunning coastal vistas, Nauru is a place of stark contrasts. It's a land where the echoes of a prosperous past collide with the challenging realities of the present. It's a story of resilience, of survival, and of a community navigating the tides of change. Intrigued? Stick with me as we delve deeper into the fascinating world of Nauru. Now, you may wonder, how did Nauru come to be? Nauru's tale begins with its discovery by European sailors in the late 18th century. Despite being inhabited by a Micronesian population for over 3,000 years, Nauru remained largely untouched by the outside world until 1798, when British sea captain John Fern, aboard the ship Hunter, became the first European to set foot on the island. He named it Pleasant Island, a moniker that belied the turbulent times ahead. In the late 19th century, Germany annexed Nauru as part of its burgeoning Pacific Empire. However, it was the discovery of phosphate, a valuable fertilizer ingredient in the early 20th century, that set Nauru on a roller coaster ride of boom and bust. The island's phosphate was the result of centuries of bird droppings, a natural resource that would prove both a blessing and a curse. During the first half of the 20th century, Nauru was passed around like a hot potato. It was captured by Australia in World War I, then occupied by Japan in World War II, before finally being placed under a United Nations trusteeship jointly administered by Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom. In 1968, Nauru finally gained independence and set about exploiting its phosphate reserves. For a while, it was a success story. The tiny island nation boasted the second highest per capita income in the world, behind only oil-rich Saudi Arabia. However, this prosperity was short-lived. The phosphate began to run out, and poor investments saw Nauru's wealth dwindle. Phosphate mining had other, more lasting effects. It ravaged the island's environment, leaving behind a barren, lunar-like landscape that covered over 80% of Nauru's land area. This environmental destruction, coupled with the decline in phosphate revenues, has left Nauru in a precarious economic situation. So, Nauru's history is a complex one, shaped by exploitation and resilience. The island's past serves as a cautionary tale of the perils of relying too heavily on a single resource and the environmental consequences of unchecked mining. It's a history that still deeply affects Nauru today. But what about Nauru today? What's life like in the world's smallest island nation? Well, it's a unique blend of modern challenges and traditional Pacific Islander culture. With an economy heavily dependent on phosphate mining, Nauru has had its share of ups and downs. The depletion of phosphate resources has led to a significant economic decline, leaving the country grappling with unemployment and financial instability. Life in Nauru is a stark contrast to the hustle and bustle of larger countries. With a population of just over 10,000, the pace of life is slower, centered around community and family. The locals love to engage in traditional activities like weaving and fishing, and you'd often find them singing and dancing to the rhythm of Nauru's unique music. Unfortunately, Nauru holds an unwanted title, the world's most obese nation. Over 95% of its adults are overweight, largely due to a diet heavy in processed and imported foods. Traditional, healthier foods, like fish and local fruits, have been replaced by fried chicken and sugary drinks, a change that's had a major impact on the health of Nauruans. And let's not forget the island's environmental challenges. With its phosphate deposits nearly exhausted, Nauru faces the daunting task of restoring its mined-out interior, a barren wasteland often referred to as topside. This, coupled with the looming threat of climate change and rising sea levels, makes for a precarious existence. But don't let these struggles paint a bleak picture. Nauruans are a resilient and proud people. Their culture, steeped in history and tradition, remains a cornerstone of their identity. They stand tall, determined to overcome their challenges and build a better future for their island. In a world that often feels too big and too fast, Nauru offers a different perspective. It's a place where community matters, where every face is familiar, and where the ocean, with its endless expanse, reminds you of the vastness of our world. Despite the hardships, Nauruans persevere, embodying the human spirit's resilience. They remind us that even in the smallest corners of the world, there's a story of survival, of adaptation, and of the indomitable spirit of humanity. Nauru may be the least visited country, but it is not for lack of charm. This tiny island nation, nestled in the heart of the Pacific Ocean, is an enigma. While it may seem that Nauru's tourism industry is almost non-existent, it's not because it has nothing to offer. Imagine walking on the pristine beaches, the sand warm beneath your feet, the sound of waves gently lapping at the shore. Picture the lush, green vegetation, the exotic wildlife, and the vibrant colors of tropical flowers. These are just some of the natural wonders that Nauru has to offer. Beyond its natural beauty, Nauru's culture is rich and captivating. From traditional dances to the intricate art of weaving, the island's heritage is alive and well. Visitors have the chance to immerse themselves in this culture, learning about Nauru's history and traditions directly from the people who've been preserving them for generations. Speaking of people, the Nauruans themselves are part of the island's charm. Known for their warm hospitality, they welcome visitors with open arms and smiling faces. Despite the challenges they face, their resilience and spirit are truly inspiring. However, the paradox lies in the fact that despite all these attractions, Nauru remains largely unvisited. The reasons for this are multifaceted, including its remote location, limited accessibility, and a lack of infrastructure to support large-scale tourism. Additionally, the island's controversial past and present, marked by political instability, economic crises, and human rights concerns, has deterred potential visitors. Yet, it's important to remember that these challenges do not define Nauru. They are part of its complex narrative, yes, but they are not all there is to this island nation. It's a place that has much to offer, from its stunning landscapes to its rich cultural heritage and the resilience of its people. So why is Nauru the least visited country? It's not because it's unattractive or uninteresting. It's not because it's unwelcoming or unexciting. Rather, it's a result of a complex mixture of factors, many of which are beyond the control of the Nauruans themselves. Nauru's lack of tourism isn't due to a lack of charm, but rather a complex mixture of factors. Nauru has also played a controversial role in international politics. One of the most contentious aspects of Nauru's international presence is its role as a de facto open-air prison for refugees. In the early 21st century, the island became a processing center for asylum seekers trying to reach Australia by boat. The initiative, known as the Pacific Solution, was Australia's attempt to discourage dangerous sea voyages. However, it has been widely criticized for its inhumane conditions and violation of international law. The asylum seekers, mostly from war-torn countries, were sent to Nauru, where they were held in detention centers, essentially transforming this tiny island into an open-air prison. The conditions in these facilities have been described as dire, with reports of overcrowding, inadequate medical care, and mental health crises among detainees. The situation has drawn the ire of human rights organizations worldwide, leading to a storm of controversy. The Australian government maintains that this policy is necessary to deter people smugglers and prevent tragic drownings at sea. However, critics argue that it is a flagrant violation of refugees' rights, using Nauru as an offshore dumping ground to sidestep Australia's international obligations. In addition to asylum seekers, Nauru has also courted controversy through its diplomatic relationships. It's been known to switch diplomatic recognition between Taiwan and China based on who offers the most financial aid. This has led some to accuse Nauru of checkbook diplomacy, essentially selling its international influence to the highest bidder. The controversy surrounding Nauru's role as an open-air prison and its diplomatic dealings has made the island a hot topic in international politics, leading many to question its ethical standing on the world stage. Despite these controversies, Nauru continues to navigate the complexities of international politics, leveraging its unique position to ensure its survival. This tiny island's geopolitical role is a testament to its resilience and adaptability in a rapidly changing world. Nauru's geopolitical role is as complex and intriguing as the island itself. With all these challenges, what does the future hold for Nauru? It's an intriguing question that draws us into a web of complexities and potentialities. The most immediate and looming threat is climate change. As a low-lying island, Nauru is at the front line of sea level rise. It's a daunting predicament, but Nauru isn't taking it lying down. The nation is actively participating in international climate talks, advocating for the plight of small island nations and pushing for global action. It's a David versus Goliath scenario that underscores Nauru's tenacity. Yet, climate change isn't the only issue the island faces. The economy of Nauru, having been heavily dependent on phosphate mining, is in dire need of diversification. This is no small feat for a country as small as Nauru, yet there are glimmers of hope. The nation is exploring other sectors, such as offshore banking and digital industries, for potential growth. It's a gamble, but one that could pay off and steer the country towards a more sustainable economic path. Nauru's challenges also extend to its social fabric. The high rates of obesity and diabetes, a legacy of its past affluence, require urgent attention. The government is now focusing on preventative health measures and promoting a return to traditional diets and lifestyles. It's an uphill battle, but one that Nauru is willing to fight. But what about the controversial role Nauru has played in recent years? The country's involvement in international refugee detention has been a source of criticism and concern. It's a complex issue, and one that Nauru will need to navigate carefully in the future. The future of Nauru is uncertain, but the resilience of its people gives hope. Nauru, like many small island nations, faces an uncertain future. Yet, its people have shown remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. They've weathered economic collapse, environmental degradation, and social upheaval. If the past is any indication, Nauru will continue to face its challenges head-on, carving out its own unique path in the vast Pacific Ocean. So, there you have it. Nauru, a tiny dot on the map with a story larger than life. We've journeyed through the history of this small island nation, from its discovery and the boom of its phosphate mining to its current state. We've seen how Nauru, once a paradise with an abundance of natural resources, transformed into a land stripped of its treasures. We've observed how the prosperity of the past has given way to poverty, obesity, and a struggling economy. We've uncovered the paradox of Nauru's tourism. Despite being the least visited country in the world, its unique history and cultural heritage make it a fascinating destination. Yet, it is this very obscurity and isolation that has led to its current state. We've delved into the controversial role that Nauru plays in the international arena. It's a place that has been used and abused, first by colonial powers mining its phosphate, and now as an open-air prison for asylum seekers. This role has brought Nauru into the global spotlight, but not always for the right reasons. Looking into the future, we've explored the challenges that Nauru faces. The island's phosphate reserves are almost depleted, and rising sea levels due to climate change threaten its very existence. But with adversity comes opportunity, and Nauru's future is not set in stone. The island nation has the potential to transform again, this time into a sustainable and prosperous society. The story of Nauru serves as a cautionary tale for the rest of the world. It's a stark reminder of the consequences of exploiting natural resources without thought for the future. But it's also a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Despite the hardships they face, the people of Nauru continue to persevere and strive for a better future. The story of Nauru is a testament to the human spirit's resilience, a lesson in the consequences of exploitation, and a call to action for the world.